Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Inspo Pod with me, Bethany. Today we've got the beautiful Rebecca. Hello.
Hello, thanks for having me.
No worries, welcome. So, Rebecca is owner, I want to say, is owner of the Happy Hormones Club.
Yes.
Yes, amazing. So, introduce yourself, tell us what you do.
Yeah. So I set up the Happy Hormones Club, as you said,
Yeah,
which is a support hub for mainly menstrual cycle, menstrual health issues.
amazing.
But it kind of varies. So I retrained as a menstrual health educator, menstrual health practitioner,
Yeah,
and I've done various courses and certifications around that as well, and around hormone health and around mental health,
yeah,
um, to build up this sort of community and space where women can get educated on the menstrual cycle,
yeah,
on different challenges, menstrual health challenges like PMDD, PCOS, endometriosis, and also where like a younger generation can start on the right foot and get the education that
yeah,
they need. And the whole purpose of it is easy to adapt, quick education that doesn't
yeah.
cost a fortune,
Love
basically.
that. I love it.
Because it feels like the only options are get no help or pay £500 for a consultation with a hormone specialist. And
Yeah.
actually, I'm not a medical professional and I'm not a doctor. I'm exploring the realms of lifestyle changes, which is what doctors always prescribe,
Yeah.
and how going back to the basics a bit more, living not in this world that we've set up that's very fast paced and like full of things that we probably shouldn't be eating and probably shouldn't be doing, sort of stripping it back and going back to basics and actually looking after ourselves
Yeah.
and learning to listen to what the menstrual cycle is telling us. And so, yeah, now I do talks and workshops and I speak about
Amazing.
my own experience with PMDD and PCOS, which are two things I was diagnosed with in my early 20s, and it's great. I get to speak to so many amazing
Yeah.
people. So,
I feel like it's such an important thing that you're doing because not only can people go and sort of learn, like you say, and they're learning from you, it's also a form of support. They're getting that support and that, like you said, community, which I think is really key. Which is why I wanted to have you on because I think this is a really important topic and I think it's amazing what you're doing.
thank you.
Um, let's rewind back a little bit. So you haven't always done this, obviously. So we met a few years ago. And we
Yes,
both used to work in events, didn't we?
we did.
A crazy time, very different.
So good for the stress management that I
So
now
true.
tune into so much. But yes,
Yeah, I mean, we did long hours. I don't think we worked together for that long, did we? I think it was just a couple of months, but
I don't know. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
because then it was COVID. Yes,
yeah.
yeah,
I think I started after COVID, but yeah,
right.
and I think it
Yeah,
was
so it
like
wasn't long. Yeah,
it was a crazy time because everyone was just getting back into the swing of things, and yeah, it was a busy industry, shall we say. But yeah,
yeah,
like you say, it sets you up for life because you get used to the stress.
yes, definitely.
Um, so yeah, and you also used to do music. Do you still do your music on the side?
I still do. So that,
Amazing.
yes. So I'm a double side hustle starter person. But
Love
yeah,
that.
I do, and I love it. And it's very, very good. It kind of ties in because I'm all about things that are good for the soul now and things that
Yeah.
are good for stress management and cortisol balance, cortisol management and things like that. And I singing is that for me,
Yeah.
and playing instruments is that for me. And I often do it at people's weddings and things, and that's just
Oh,
such a
nice.
gorgeous vibe. Though it is quite stressful, just because I feel a lot of pressure because it's such an important day for people. But it's so lovely. So yeah, I still do that. But
Good
that's
for the
another
soul.
thing I had to make adjustments to is like when I was doing function band singing.
Yeah.
I found that lifestyle quite difficult. Not that I was doing it all the time, but often a gig would be in central London until quite late at night, and I would
Yeah.
be getting home then on my own, carrying my like expensive equipment as a woman on my own quite late. Then
Yeah.
late nights,
Stressful.
getting up, doing work the next day, and I was like, yeah, started to think about how it's not always possible. And sometimes I do have
Yeah.
to. I mean, the other week I was driving home from a gig that was like 3 hours away at 9 p.m. It's not always possible,
Yeah.
but it's learning. I've tried to sort of balance where I can.
Yeah. Learning to get the balance right. Learning that you can
Um,
no, you don't always have to say yes, that kind of
yeah, yeah. And so I stopped doing like function band stuff just because in London I never wanted to drive to London and I
yeah.
didn't really like traveling home as a woman on my own with like
I
an
feel
expensive microphone and a stand and everything. And now, yeah, I do more sort of like corporate gigs and weddings and things like that, or
nice.
a Sunday afternoon at the pub. That's a good one as well.
Nice. I'm gonna have to come and see you.
Yeah,
I've seen videos, but I haven't seen you live in person. So I'm gonna have to make a trip and
yes.
come and see you. Let me know
We'll
where
sort that
you're going
out.
next.
Well, now that I am easing off mat leave as well, that I'm getting more in the diary.
Yeah.
So
No.
that is good.
You're such a powerhouse. You're like, you've got a baby, you're married, like got your own business, you're doing music. It's really impressive, can't lie.
Do you know what? This year's when I was pregnant, and this year's been quite hard to keep things ticking.
Yeah.
And I've just kept it to what's manageable. And I have had times where I've struggled with it because what I talk about is with the Happy Hormones Club is all about like feeling good and not overwhelming ourselves and but
Yeah.
like we're all human and I've definitely gone through phases this year where I've tried to do too much
Yeah.
and that kind of doesn't that manifests in different things for me. But it's
Yeah.
all about keeping a balance. That'll be the theme. It's like we I'd love to sit here like some of the books you read and say everything that I do is in response to my menstrual cycle. I'm like, I never have calls on a day when
Yeah.
I'm this and I never whatever. And it's just not
Not possible.
realistic.
Yeah.
It's just about like being aware and being conscious of. And so I've tried not to push myself
Yeah.
this year, but I've had to in some ways because
Got a lot
I
going
want to
on.
keep it alive. I care about the Happy Hormones Club and I want it to
Yeah.
keep going. So it's all
Yeah.
a juggle.
It is.
Yeah,
We're all human, and I think, as long as you're doing your absolute best and you're using the tools that you're obviously providing other people as well, those tools of like knowing how to keep the balance, that kind of thing. As long as you're trying to do those things, that's all that matters, you're doing your best. We're all
exactly.
human. Life's gonna go like up and down.
Exactly. And
Crazy ride.
especially for women as well who have this all these changes that we're faced with.
Yeah.
And it's up and down and that's it. We're all on a process of learning how to adapt and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So how are you finding like the freelance life since we were in events, you've then gone and you've done this and you're still doing your music. How are you balancing everything? Like what are the biggest challenges that you faced and how are you finding it?
So I'm quite lucky that I still have a foot in fundraising, which is what I went to after working in events,
Yeah,
something that's a bit more like a bit less high stress. And I wanted to do something that was kind of impactful.
yeah.
So I was, yeah, fundraising, healthcare fundraising.
Amazing.
Um, Again kind of ties in because it's like the more money we get into these spaces and the
Yeah,
more we shout about women's health research, hopefully the further we're going to get with it. But I find it good. I find it stressful.
yeah,
It's a challenge and it takes quite a lot of efficiency and organization.
yeah,
But you know what? So has dealing with my PCOS and PMDD.
yeah,
So that's been like training, if you will, for, yeah, I guess I feel like it all just links in together
yeah,
and keeps me on track. Um, I used to be really rubbish though at keeping track of like clients and gigs, like clients either with Happy Hormones Club or with um music, and then like coming to do like my tax return or whatever and being like, oh my God, I'm a mess. So that's something that I've
I'm
worked
dreading
on.
that. I've got to do that for the
Yeah,
first time and I'm dreading it.
that's something that I've worked on and like got my spreadsheets and everything and like
Yeah.
tried to keep track of, and because it does make it easier. And one of the things I work with people on, especially if they've got PMDD or if they're struggling with PMS, is like taking the thinking and the doing out of tasks as
Yeah.
much as possible,
Yeah.
because when we get to like the luteal phase, the brain fog makes it overwhelming. We all have decision fatigue. It's like doing the smallest task just feels really impossible.
Yeah.
So it's something that I've done in my personal life and when it comes to PMDD, and now like I've tried to do that with business life as well.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of
and trying to make things
pre-planning.
as yeah, exactly. And I quite like that kind of thing. I quite like just
Yeah.
sitting and being like, right, we're going to do this here and we're going to do that there. And not all of it's enjoyable for me. Like people think that I enjoy Instagram when they look at my feed, but I really don't.
Yeah.
I hate editing. I find it like, I don't know, I find it like, unless it's literally something you're working on like all day, like if you're an influencer,
Yeah.
there's just no way you can keep up because
Yeah. It's
people have
hard.
got people have got all this fancy editing and whatever. I'm just trying to like give people information, and then if they need my help, like you can see that I'm here and I'll help you.
Yeah.
So that is something that I struggle with. Um, but yeah,
I
there's
do
ups and
think,
downs.
I think sometimes though, if you're posting something that's really real and it's a bit more raw, sometimes that does come across better than this kind of over edited,
Yeah,
Sometimes people can put too much into the editing and the glitz and the glam of Instagram and it doesn't land as well. I think,
yeah,
especially with the kind of business that you're in, I think the women that are kind of looking for you will want someone real, if you know what I
yeah.
mean. So
Exactly. And
yeah,
I found that in a lot of like the wellness space, and I hate even saying that, but that a lot of the information is getting lost
yeah,
within this sort of need to like post 5 reels a week. It's like
yeah,
now you're just starting to post things that's just gibberish, and actually
for the
this is
sake of
health.
posting.
This is people's like life and mental health and cycle health. Like we need to be a bit more careful about
Yeah,
what we're putting out there. And there is a particular account that I struggle with that's putting out like clickbait quite often
yeah,
around women's health. And I'm like, this is not the space for
yeah.
that.
Oh, that's
Um,
annoying.
oh, yeah,
Instagram's a funny one. I feel
yeah,
like it's hard to navigate these days. Like not only if you're starting a business or a brand, not only do you have to think about all that involves, you also have to try and post regularly and be on social media, and it can be quite overwhelming, I think.
yeah. And it can
Um,
really take away from the work.
yeah,
And I've had to pull back. I think I got quite focused on like, oh, I need to put 4 posts out a day or no one's going to notice me. And actually, I
yeah,
get the most engagement when I'm putting out less. And
yeah,
I actually care about what's going into it, and it's information I really want to reach people.
yeah,
And that gives me then more time to be out talking to people. And like I was doing a workshop at a retreat last week, and that's the things that I like, because that's where you get those real conversations about menstrual
yeah.
health, about menopause, about perimenopause, all those things. And that's what we need.
Organic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So what made you start it then? So what was your reasons for starting and tell us a little bit about your journey and what led you to that, I guess.
Yeah. So I went on my own journey, I guess, with my hormone health and understanding my cycle, and didn't get diagnosis for PCOS or PMDD until quite late in that journey.
Yeah.
And had struggled with various symptoms for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
And it was specifically, well, not specifically, it was mostly affecting my mental health, I'd say.
Yeah.
And that was just getting worse as I was getting older.
Yeah.
And I've dug deep into those things and like worked out root causes, and everything feels much more balanced now.
Yeah.
And that was really what I sort of started talking to friends about it, family members, giving them advice if they asked for it.
Yeah.
Realized this is not a problem that's just with me. This is huge, and this is affecting a lot of people. And then
Yeah.
friends just started kind of saying to me, "You should be helping people with this. Like you're really good at this. You can tell that you're passionate about it. You care a lot about it.
Yeah.
You put the proof sort of in the pudding. I've made differences and I've made changes in my life." And I've also done all the things. I've done the SSRIs, I've done the pill, I can understand it from all the angles. I
Yeah.
asked for a
Been through it.
hysterectomy at one point. Do you know, I can
God.
see where people get to
Yeah.
and what the options are available, and yeah, try and help through that. And look,
Yeah.
I wish I'd have trained in women's health and in medicine now to sort of to make more impacts in like the space of research and things like that, but that's not where I'm at. And actually I've seen some amazing changes through
Yeah.
very simple things like just looking after our health properly.
Yeah.
um, that can be a difficult thing for people to accept as well,
Yeah.
that we generally in this modern day just live quite a, a lifestyle that's not very friendly for our hormone health.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Getting
that's
back to the
tough.
basics, isn't it? Like your
Yeah,
diet, even just silly things like I was told once that I need to listen to music every day just to lower my cortisol. Just like 10 minutes of just like dancing to music and just
yeah,
like, and it's
yeah,
those simple things sometimes that you don't realize that sometimes the simple things have more impact than like
yeah.
getting
Yeah.
medication or something. So
And that's the
yeah,
thing as well, is that they're often different drivers for different people. It's often
yeah,
different causes. And once you can learn about that, learn about yourself, get
yeah,
to know what's happening and what's happening in the rhythms and the symptoms, and then like work backwards from there.
yeah,
And do those fundamentals of hormone health, because they're never going to make you feel worse. This
yeah,
is the thing that I say
true.
to people. It's like, I'm never going to say definitely don't go down this route, definitely don't. Like, lifestyle changes is just an option, as is all the other treatment options. And there's nothing out there that's going to work for everybody.
Yeah,
Women who say they've tried different pills, it doesn't work for them. But changing your lifestyle, being more anti-inflammatory, working on stress management, being more mindful is never going to make you feel worse.
yeah. And you
And
might as
that's
well
the
try it.
biggest thing.
Like, why not
Yeah,
try it? Give it a go, see how you feel, you know?
exactly. And you can try it alongside other things, but you if you're not in a place of like desperation, it's
Yeah.
a really good place to start, because people have amazing changes. And I'm sorry, I've gone off on a tangent there,
No,
but that's
good.
basically what I was feeling very
Yeah.
strongly. And so I like studied lots. I got really obsessed with it and
Yeah.
like read all the books, listened to all the podcasts, did all the things. Like, I was like my own guinea pig. I just tried loads of different things. And I then found a certification, and I'm still studying now. I do
That's
things wherever I can. And yeah, just started from there and set up the Happy Hormones Club, and
amazing.
realized that people really wanted to hear about this.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
It is good. As women, we need to talk about it more. We need to hear about it more. Like there's just not enough help, I don't think.
Mm.
And I think obviously with how difficult it is just to get, into a doctor's appointment just for anything nowadays, that then has a knock-on effect on women's health as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really important what you're
Yeah.
doing. But
Thanks.
did you know your symptoms were related to sort of PMDD, PCOS? Did you know they were related, or did you just kind of have symptoms where you were like, oh, I feel really down, or I feel this, or I feel that, and I don't know what's causing it? Did you kind of have to work it out, or did you know?
For a long time, I did not know. I
Yeah.
had to connect the dots. I didn't have a clue. I didn't relate the fact that I was so down and so low energy to either
Yeah.
of those things for a really long time,
Yeah.
because I would just have these waves, and I wasn't, and I mean, like, starting from being a teenager or whatever, where my mum would notice like I was really lethargic, or I was just like not present, or just like, I
Yeah.
don't know, feeling, and I wasn't educated. None of us were.
Yeah.
And I did go to the doctors for various things over years. I had tests and all sorts. And yeah, it wasn't until I really started to like be like, I can't keep doing this, that
Yeah.
I found lots of interviews actually and articles of women in America talking about PMDD. Um, and when I started to track, everything became so apparent. And then when I started to track, I got really pushy with the doctors
Yeah.
about other things that were happening.
Yeah.
And then I had more scans, more tests. And then I found my diagnosing factors for PCOS. And then I also, after that, got the PMDD diagnosis as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel like you have to push sometimes, doesn't it, for those answers. Sometimes I feel like when I go to the doctors, like they're not taking me seriously, which
Yeah.
can feel really frustrating because I'm like, this is affecting me. And they're like, but you're not, you don't have a physical, you've not got a cut or something, it's not something physical that they can, so they don't really know what to sort of say, which can be really frustrating. So it's amazing that you've done all that kind of work and figured it out. And then just for anyone listening that isn't sure, so what's PMDD? Just give me a quick snapshot of what that is.
Sure. And I will just say on that last bit as well that that's an experience for a lot of people. A lot of people
A
that come
lot.
to me, I help them with speaking to their doctor. And
Yeah.
that's because, and it's not their fault. It's
No,
because the training and the information is not there. The
not
research
enough.
isn't there. And so when
Yeah.
they go to like medical school, it's like, come on, we've been having periods forever, but we're just still not there with it. And they
Yeah.
don't have the knowledge to be able to pass on.
Yeah.
Like every now and again, you'll get an amazing doctor who's like seems to get it, but it's probably because they've been through something
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
but PMDD, so it's called premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and
Yeah.
it is quite a scary sounding name, I always think. And it is really, when it's bad, it is a really horrible thing that people go through.
Yeah.
It's a reaction to the normal fluctuations in hormones in your cycle. So it's not a
Right.
hormone
Okay.
imbalance, although people can have a hormone imbalance and have PMDD, it can make symptoms worse. All these things can be interlinked. But the actual PMDD, as far as research will tell us, is a reaction in the
Okay.
brain to the normal fluctuations of hormones. And so what that means is there is this crossover between menstrual health and mental health, sort
Okay.
of, that needs a bit more looking into and a bit more research. Um, but yeah, it'll manifest in different ways for different people. But what I've found from working with people is there's a lot of links.
Yeah.
It's just it's the way it's dealt with, the way that the severity of it that kind of affects people in different ways. But for me, it was just feeling very, very down and hopeless
Yeah.
for around 7 or 8 days. For some people, it's longer.
Pre-period, isn't it?
Pre-period, yeah. And so sort of it starts to affect most people from after ovulation, but some people find that they're experiencing symptoms for much longer. It's very varied. There's a big spectrum. But yeah, for me, it was a lot of feeling very down, incredibly tired, and I do
Yeah.
still struggle with the fatigue, but I lean into it more now, where I can.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily fatigue now because I'm not pushing through. I'm more resting more, and I'm
Okay.
accepting that my body needs more sleep around that time and things like that. So,
That's good.
um, yeah.
Yeah. And then do you adjust your diet as well, like according to where you're at?
Yeah, yeah. So the basis is, and again, this is very generalized because it really depends on the person, it depends on the lifestyle, and it depends on the responsibilities, and it depends on the symptoms.
Yeah.
But for me, I get the most benefit from most of the time eating anti-inflammatory based diet.
Yeah.
Um, and I say most of the time because I'm a human, and I mean,
We'll
on
get
Sunday
cravings.
I'm going out with family and we're going to a pizza place, and there's no way I'm not eating a pizza. I just want to make that very
Yeah.
clear. Like, we can do these things. Everyone's threshold and everyone's balance is different. For
Yeah.
me, I'm able to manage my symptoms through an 80-20 sort of approach.
Yeah.
But yes, the biggest things for me are diet and movement.
Yeah.
And I really notice when I'm not on top of those things. And
Okay.
yeah, and also a lot of work in processing prior trauma and things that cause me keep chronic stress in my body. So
Yeah.
that's something I was struggling with, is like chronic inflammation, chronic stress, and that can also be a driver of PCOS.
Yeah.
It's also chronic stress was something that gave me quite bad eczema, which is
Okay.
now under control. And I realized that was the driver of a lot of things that were happening to me. So some mindfulness things, stress management,
Yeah.
and being more in touch with like what I like and what I enjoy, as opposed to what society is telling me I
Yeah.
should like doing, and that built up stress in me as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a whole mix and it's different for different people. And do you
Yeah.
know what? One of the biggest things that I work on people with PMDD is relationships.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
it comes up all
interesting.
the time. And that's because PMDD can cause quite a lot of conflict for multiple
Right.
reasons. One, you feel like your needs aren't being met. You're
Yeah.
also really you're not feeling yourself. You're essentially, not in a bad way, but two different people across the cycle. And
Yeah.
so that person needs different things, and that's not a bad thing. And
Yeah.
then often the people that we live with, the people that are closest to us, aren't educated, don't understand, and feel confused and take it personally.
Yeah.
And that's a recipe for difficulty.
Yeah.
And when those things are rectified, what you get is support from the people closest to you. You feel that they understand. And then the people that are closest to you feel it's not their fault, and
Yeah.
also feel like they're getting some acknowledgement and they are part of it. And, then it all works a little bit better. And actually,
Yeah.
I had a girl that I worked with who was struggling in a new relationship. And then they both came to a session with me, and we did some practices and some tools. And it was really cool actually that he came, because they hadn't been together that long. And I
Yeah.
was like, this
Amazing.
is big. This person cares and wants to be with you.
Yeah.
And she like rang me afterwards and was like, this has literally changed my life. Just it
Oh,
was just missing that like feeling of both feeling understood and acknowledged.
yeah.
And her symptoms, like, yeah, she was able to deal with it so much better. So
That's amazing. I feel like because education is so important, and that's what I feel we all need more of. But men as well as women, like we don't just need to understand ourselves. Like men need to be educated as well
yeah,
on, what's going on with us and how to sort of manage that and how to not take it personally
yeah,
because our bodies go through so much throughout the month, and it's not
yeah,
always how we're behaving is not always down to just us. It's our hormones, it's everything else that's going on.
yeah.
So
And that is the sign of a very good egg, if they're happy to
they
hear
want to
that. But
learn.
sometimes it's not even that they're like not happy to hear that. It's just from the way that we've all been brought up. It's like we're that sort of first generation now that are like asking for that shift. Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure it's been asked for so many times, but we're seeing that change a little bit, where like when we were
Yeah.
younger, boys never learned about this stuff, but now they are, and things like that. But I'm working on it. I did a workshop for the NHS, for a leadership network in the NHS, and we spoke about doing a talk for men, but it wasn't something that had much um, response.
Okay.
And so that was a little bit disappointing. But I think
Yeah.
it's because of the stigma and everything around that work sort of setting. So there's still work to do there.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
like if I did a talk and to some of the people that I do that follow the Happy Hormones Club, and they were like, "Bring your partners along," I think we'd get more
Yeah. Yeah.
interest. So it would be amazing if we can get men more involved in the conversation, and it is happening slowly, but I'm working on it, and hopefully we'll get more talks for men in the future.
Hopefully, no, that would be amazing. I think more education for everyone, I think, is just the way forward, which is what you're doing, which is amazing. Um, so we've touched on what PMDD is, and then for the listeners as well, let's talk about what PCOS is because that's something I also suffer with.
Yeah.
So yeah, what would be your description of PCOS?
PCOS is a difficult one to put into a description
Yeah,
because it has different driving factors, different root causes. Um,
yeah,
for a lot of people, it shows up in symptoms that I mentioned that are quite similar to PMDD. Like it can affect your mood, it can give you severe PMS, it can encourage weight gain. A lot of people struggle with losing weight when they have PCOS, and that can be a specific type of driver, root type of PCOS as well, which I'll talk about.
yeah,
It can affect fertility. A lot of people have like facial hair and things like that, like excess hair growth. I had high testosterone. That was one of my diagnosing factors, which can be driven by insulin resistance.
yeah.
Um, so there's different
All of
types.
these things, I'm like, yep, yep. I know
Yeah,
about this.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Um, like skin issues as well, bloating, painful periods, like lots of different, all the sort of classic things.
Yeah,
Um, it can often go undiagnosed.
yeah.
It can take a long time to be diagnosed. Actually, having polycystic ovaries, which is something that I have, is a diagnosing factor, but it doesn't mean you've got PCOS. So that's a similar.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
yeah, so polycystic ovarian syndrome is a
Yeah.
collection of diagnosing factors. But
Okay.
polycystic ovaries are just polycystic ovaries, if that makes sense. Like
Right.
it's not, they're two different things.
Oh,
But it is one of the diagnosing factors. So sometimes you might get a scan to determine, yes, there is, but it doesn't necessarily mean you've got PCOS.
yeah.
There's also root causes. So, like I mentioned, insulin resistance,
Yeah.
also chronic inflammation can drive a type of PCOS,
Yeah.
chronic stress. And then there is also post pill PCOS.
Oh,
So, when someone stops taking the contraceptive pill, you can get a sort of PCOS like I'm going to get baby brain now. I can't think of the word, but like a sort of mimic sort of PCOS reaction.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I can't think of the word either.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
So that might be temporary as your body sort of readjusts
Yeah.
coming off a contraceptive pill. But then also symptoms can become present because it could also be that you've masked PCOS by having the pill.
Right. Okay.
So it's again,
So many
that's what's
different, like, it's so
yeah,
intricate. Like, it's
yeah,
not simple, which is why,
mm,
again, I'll probably say this a million times on this episode, but why education is so important because
yeah,
it's just not straightforward, is it? It's
mm-mm,
so, I mean, I've got chronic stress from from childhood where I had like a really difficult childhood and I've like that's now manifested in lots of different ways where like I've got a bad hip, I've got a bad back, I go to physio, they tell me it's because I clench my muscles, like there's all these different things like and then that all affects I don't know if it causes or just makes it worse my PCOS. So there's so much that we just don't know and there's so much about ourselves that we need to learn. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm not
My
good at wording
pers-
these things.
No.
But it's
Well,
so
I
much
think it's
better.
actually quite amazing that you know a root cause, because some
Yeah,
people they don't. Some people are very unsure of what the root cause, and it took me a long time to work out
yeah,
because and it sounds so simple, but it's just not. Our brains don't really work in that way.
yeah,
But the fact that you have a starting point and you know that you've got some chronic stress and therefore probably some chronic inflammation to deal with as
yeah.
well
A lot
is
of
really good.
information.
So a lot of these things can be dealt with quite not
Yeah,
easily.
but it's
Easily is not the word because actually changing habits, doing new things is really not easy. Like at the
yeah,
start, it's a pain in the bum until it becomes
yeah,
a habit and a lifestyle. And even then, you can still go back on it, and so it's not easy. However, a lot of them are simple,
yeah,
um, accessible
yeah.
things that can be done.
I do think having an understanding and a little bit of knowledge, which then leads to acceptance, I do
Mm.
think those things in themselves help because I something I've struggled with is I'm always bloated and I've accepted I'm never going to be skinny. And
You look amazing, so
oh, thank you. I'm doing my best. I'm trying all these kind of things like diet and mindfulness and everything. But I think one thing that frustrated me is a lot of people used to say to me, you go to the gym 5 days a week. Why are you not slim or whatever? And that can be so hard to hear. And I would think, well, why am I not seeing a lot of progress? Why am I still? And I didn't put the two and two together until I learned about my PCOS because it can cause weight gain, it can cause bloating, it can cause inflammation. And these are all things that I struggle with. And I think learning and having the knowledge. And then also what comes with that is the acceptance of it and the acceptance that, yeah, I might have to work a bit harder than everyone else. I might have to, put a bit more effort into my workouts and do this and do that and also work on my hormones and all of these different things. That acceptance helps me because I think, you know, it's not all my fault. I don't have to blame myself. I just know what I need to work on, and that's okay. And I think
yeah.
it just really helps.
Yeah. And also, firstly, who is saying that to you about the gym? We go to the
Oh,
gym for our
don't.
minds, guys. But yeah, actually, it might be that you've not found the right thing. It might
Yeah,
be that you've not, you know, the route and now it's working on addressing it
yeah,
because these things do make a big difference.
yeah.
Um, like I do believe that PCOS can be reversed, and lots of people believe. And
Interesting.
yeah, and I know that's a bit of like a
Let's reverse me,
step.
please.
Yes, well, but there's lots of stuff backing this up.
Yeah,
Um, it's just dealing with it in the right way.
yeah,
And quite a lot of people just won't even realize the small things
yeah.
that are kind of putting things the wrong way, like the small changes that could
Make a big difference.
make a big difference.
Yeah,
Um, and that really all depends on like the person, and it's not easy, no. And actually, I will say, and again, this is a bit of a tricky one because obviously I would rather not have PMDD. I would
yeah,
rather not have PCOS. Like, yes, life would have been easier. However, I'm not I'm kind of getting to a point, or I'm at a point
yeah,
where I feel like it's good. As in, I don't know how to word this. I've learned so much about myself,
yeah.
about
Most
what
beneficial.
keeps me healthy, about what makes me feel good,
Yeah,
that I wouldn't have learned if I didn't have those things.
yeah. That's also
So,
an amazing outlook as well, though, because you're turning what could be a negative into a positive. You're looking at the benefits that have come from it, which is amazing.
and I feel that the tools coming to them at the time that I did, some people are coming to me and they're in their late 40s or whatever, and they're gutted that I feel for them that there was never this movement of this education
Yeah,
because then they enter like perimenopause, menopause with like the tools haven't been there. And
yeah.
then it's like a years and years of build up of, whatever is
Progress.
affecting them. So I feel like I used to be terrified of like what menopause would be like because of how terrible I was feeling
Yeah,
having a cycle. And now I'm like ready. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, that's good.
I just feel like I know I'll know how to, yeah, I just feel like I've learnt the tools now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like you've gained a better understanding of yourself, your mind, and your body. And that's
yeah,
going to put you in good stead for like the rest of your life, which is good.
yeah,
So yeah. But so we are running out of time,
yeah,
sadly, which is so sad because I feel like I never really get into everything that I want to talk about. But I think we should do another episode, and I'd love to sort of go through the journey of if I came to you with my PCOS, kind of what you would
yeah,
do for me and what that would look like. Because I think that would be super useful. Um, but I think for now, let's talk about what's next for you. So, what are your sort of future plans? Like, what's
yeah.
next? Obviously, you've got a lot
So,
going on, personal life, you've got baby, house,
yeah.
but yeah, what else?
Once that's all sorted, so yeah, I'm easing off of maternity leave and got some exciting plans. I did a partnership with a women's fitness company
Nice.
called Fitbirds, who are amazing. And so I've been doing some work with them and also with a like new mums group that runs in the area that I live in at the moment.
Yeah.
And then I'm also putting together a secret, exciting thing that's going to be
Oh, okay.
beneficial
Watch
for
the space.
teenage girls
Oh, amazing.
and
Okay.
those entering into period life. But I can't really say much about that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
But maybe I will be able
exciting.
to when this comes out. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, so I'm just working on that at the moment
That's
and hopefully
exciting.
doing some more gigs and things. But yeah, just really focusing on like settling
Back
my
in.
little girl Edie into
Oh,
nursery life and things like that. And
amazing.
just getting back into
And I guess
life.
that kind of changes as well the different things you can focus on within your work because obviously you're a new mom, so that brings a new set of challenges, but also a new
Yeah.
insight and like amazing knowledge and that kind of thing. So that's exciting. And then for anyone that wants to kind of follow you or connect with you, what is your Instagram?
Yeah,
Um,
so it's at Hello Happy Hormones Club.
Amazing.
You can find me there. And then also on my website, there's lots of free resources.
Yeah.
My like business mentor said I'm really bad at just giving away things for free, but I'm like, it's because I care about it and I just can't help myself.
Yeah.
But there's like 5 different free guides on there,
Great.
mainly on getting started with tracking and learning a bit more about
Yeah.
your cycle. Yeah.
That's super useful. And what was your website?
It's www.thehappyhormonesclub.com.
Amazing. Okay, everyone go check it out. I definitely will be. Okay, great. And then just for fun then, just before we wrap up, what are your biggest icks in life? I always do this with my guests. It's a bit of fun just to get to know you. Tell me what annoys you.
I think they're going to be so random, but
No, go for it. This is what we like.
I have quite a lot of icks. Because
Love
I'm
it.
always like to my husband, like that's a bit, not about him, but like just things.
Just life.
Yeah. And people are going to be like, what is she talking about? One of my biggest icks
Yeah.
is when people clap out of time.
Oh my
Like
God, I do that every time. I'm so bad.
it sends like shivers through my body.
What
And
about
I'm like that.
clicking? Because I click out of time. I just go, and there's no
No,
rhythm.
I just, no, I can't. And it's like, it's so off the beat and I just can't deal. And then another one, and I'm so sorry if you do this because quite a lot of people do it, is when people call spag bowl.
Oh no.
Do you do
I did
that?
that. I don't know if I do. No, I don't think
But
I do.
no, because it's
No, I
not a
don't.
bowl, it's a bolognese. It's a bolognese.
Yeah.
So it should be bowl.
Oh,
And people put
wait, what
spag
do they?
bowl because it comes in like a bowl, but it's not like
Oh
spaghetti in a
no.
bowl.
Oh God, no,
Yeah,
I
I've
wouldn't
seen
say
that so
that.
much. I told you this was niche.
No, but I love
And
it.
I've also got an ick about men in white skinny jeans or ripped skinny
Okay.
jeans.
Just them wearing them in general.
Yeah, but I like a bit of like an indie boy anyway, so
Yeah. To
yeah,
be
I'm not
fair,
too that.
a white skinny jean with rips, that's a no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just no.
I love it. I love it.
I think I'm quite an icky person anyway. I do quite a lot of icky things, so I'm no one to talk because I'm just quite embarrassing, but they're my
No.
icks.
Okay, I love those. I love those. I'm trying to think if I've got any that are similar to yours. I don't think I have.
Yeah. People will
I
probably be
agree
like,
with
it's
yours
such
though.
an ick when people talk about like periods. So, or when I'm like walking through the office with like, I'm going to this with my pad.
No, I don't think
Probably
that's
like
an
ick.
ick. I
No, it
think
shouldn't be, but it could be.
exactly. It
Yeah.
needs to be more comfortable, definitely, I think. It needs to be something that we can just be open about and like, yeah, I'm on my period and what, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely. I'll tell you
My
what.
one,
Go
my
on, no,
one
go on.
advice thing for people with that are
Yeah,
listening, one thing we can all do is if you work in an office
yeah.
and you are someone that, like everyone, like I've been that person that sneaks their pad out of their bag or their tampon and
I used
like
to do that.
it's like this and then shimmies to the loo. I think we can all collectively make a choice that we just walk with them. And
Yeah,
then I feel like that is a small thing that would make it just much more normalized. And
yeah.
it'll take
Take away the
our
shame.
generation a lot to get used to and the generation above, whatever. But hopefully then it will be normal. And
Yeah.
also get the men in your life and down to the shop. I worked with a woman who said that her son, who's like 14, goes to get like
Oh, I
the
love that.
tampons.
That's so
Yeah.
good. That's so
So I'm
good.
like, that's cool.
That
Yeah.
that's an ick of mine actually, is when men get freaked out by periods. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, grow up.
Yeah. That's how you're here. So
Okay, amazing. Well, I love that. I feel like I've got to know you even more now from that, which is
yeah, that was
so
nice.
good. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me. And
Yeah,
if you're up for it, I would love to have you back for another episode and
definitely.
we can delve deeper into some of these things and maybe delve into PCOS or PMDD a bit further and speak about that because I think it's something that the listeners will need to hear. And I love
Defo.
what
I'd
you're
love to.
doing.
Thank you. So nice
Um,
to be on.
yes, thank you. I'm so proud of you, by the way, as well. Like, I'm just so proud of everything you're doing. I think it's incredible. And yeah, I think there needs to be more of this in the world. And yeah, I hope it just continues going from strength to strength. So,
Thank
yay.
you. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, my love. I'll let you get on with your day and I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.